Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I want to give my very quick thoughts on the iPhone SE 2020 in 2022, just to see how it performs, go through the specs, the camera, the battery life and all that sort of stuff, just to see if it's worth buying in 2022. Despite some pretty low prices, you can find second-hand ones available. So if you're interested, stick around. Okay, so as the name suggests, the iPhone SE 2020 came out in April of 2020, so it's pushing 2.5 years old. It does sport that same 4.7-inch display with thick bezels around the outside and Touch ID at the bottom, which is very fast and responsive. I haven't had any issues of it missing my fingerprint or anything like that. It did take me a while to get used to the kind of haptic feedback of the home button, which is exactly the same as what I found when I did the iPhone 7 Plus and the iPhone 8 Plus as well. I still do find it a little bit strange that there's not an actual clicky button, but it didn't take me too long to get used to it. If you flip the phone over, I've got it in product red. It was also available in midnight or starlight, which is basically black and white. All of the iPhone SEs came with the black front, even if you get the white model, which is obviously what you didn't find on the iPhone 8. If you picked up the silver model, you'd get the white front. I do actually prefer the black front. It kind of tends to exaggerate the display a little bit in terms of its brightness and just how clear it is, etc. That's just me personally. As far as the rest of the phone, you get your standard lightning port on the bottom with your speaker grills as well. On the right, you get your power button, and then on the left, you get your volume buttons and your mute switch as well. One other thing to note with the iPhone 8 SE 2020 is they did move the Apple logo to the middle of the phone. It was kind of up here a little bit more on the older iPhone 7 and 8 models, just a little design tweak. And it is also part of that one bit of glass on the back as well, rather than being a separate piece, so it is nice and flush on the back. As for the overall feel of the phone, it's just a really nice premium feeling device. It's all glass with aluminium rails. You do also get wireless charging, which of course was introduced to the iPhones on the iPhone 8, so that was of course carried over as well. Overall, I'm really liking the design and the feel. It is actually really nice going back to a small phone. Despite the chunky bezels on the front, I'm not that bothered by that. It did take me a little while to get used to the smaller the display. It's only 4.7 inches. You know, I've been used to using phones of 6.5 inches or more. So going back to a small phone took a bit of getting used to, but I actually do really enjoy it. Nice having just a small phone in your pocket rather than a brick almost. So talking about performance, you get the A13 Bionic processor, which is what you find in the iPhone 11 series. And of course you do get that A13 image processing on the camera, despite it being the same 12 megapixel sensor, the exact same sensor that you find on the iPhone 8, which is the same as what they did with the iPhone XR as well. The one thing they did omit from the iPhone SE 2020 is night mode. So despite the A13 being capable of capturing night mode, because it is of course found on the iPhone 11s, they didn't put it in the iPhone SE, which is a bit of a shame. So nighttime photography does take a bit of a hit, but on the flip side, daytime photography is really, really nice. Photos come out with plenty of detail, loads of natural color, which is typical of iPhones, and I've got no complaints on the iPhone SE in terms of the image quality. Of course, newer iPhones are going to be better, so even the iPhone 11s will produce slightly better photos, and then of course as you go up to the newer 14 models, then they will produce better photos as well. But for the price that you can get an iPhone SE now, daylight photos I think are going to be a lot better than a lot of mid-range Android devices on the market at the moment. So something to bear in mind if you are considering a budget device. The iPhone SE from 2020 is a good option, especially for photography. And of course, video is where iPhones do really, really well as well. So at the time, the iPhone 8 would have had the best video in an iPhone at the time. The iPhone SE, of course, borrows that video capabilities from the iPhone 8, again, with the processing of the A13. So you can shoot 4K video on the iPhone SE 2020, which is a great thing to have, whereas a lot of budget devices only shoot in 1080p, or if they do shoot 4K, there is definitely no stabilization with that resolution, which is something that you do find on the iPhone SE. So again, something that you might want to sway towards picking an SE over the budget Android devices instead. But one thing where the iPhone SE unfortunately does fall off a cliff is in battery life. Now it's only powered by a 1800 milliamp hour battery or so, and I have found the battery life on the iPhone SE to be pretty poor. It's not great at all. It doesn't get me through a full day of basically normal use. If I'm sat on my bed or something, just scrolling through a bit of Facebook connected to Wi-Fi, I can just see the percentage drop as I'm using the phone. So heavy users are not going to get on with the iPhone SE in terms of battery life, and it doesn't charge the quickest either. Despite having a small battery, it still takes a little while to charge, but other than that, the iPhone SE is a great phone to have if you're someone that doesn't use your phone that often. Maybe you're a retiree or something like that, and you just want a small, easy in the hand phone that will last a day with very light use, but will take you some good snaps when you need it to, and you haven't got to worry about Face ID. You could just do your fingerprint and all that sort of stuff. So that's my 2 cents on the iPhone SE 2020. Overall, it's still a really great phone with amazing premium feel. Not so premium looks because of course that display, but in terms of the glass back, which of course with wireless charging is a great thing to have as well. Now, the iPhone SE 2020 is available secondhand in the UK for about 150 quid, which is about what I paid for this one here. So for that price, I think it's a good choice over a lot of budget Android devices of the same price or less. You're definitely going to get a better camera experience, better video quality, a far better performance, but the only downside is you're not going to get as good a battery life on it. So, but if that doesn't bother you, the iPhone SE is a great option. But let me know in the comments what you think of the iPhone SE 2020. Is it a phone that you would consider buying? Or of course there's the iPhone SE 2022, which again is essentially the same thing, but has a slightly bigger battery, has the newer A15 Bionic processor from the iPhone 13s. So just a ever so slight upgrade on the iPhone SE 2022, but that is still around 300 quid. So around double the price you can find an SE 2020. So again, let me know in the comments what you think of the iPhone SE 2020. Like I said, I think it's a really great phone, but let me know what you think. And if you do enjoy this video, please consider subscribing, and I will hopefully see you in the next one.